Well, they've dominated for decades, but now the once formidable baby boomers' electoral power is waning. So who will decide the outcome of the election and how will it reshape our nation?
Baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. By 1982, Australia's biggest generation and single largest voting bloc.
There have been a lot of policies that have been tailored at wooing that baby boomer vote. A lot of them have been around the pension, the assets test, access to concessional healthcare cards. Many of the baby boomers did get free degrees. They benefited from changes around negative gearing. They've got a lot of goodies over the years.
Their political power has helped decide elections.
Baby boomers were hugely important for re-electing John Howard year after year. He was all over, changes to the pension, making sure that, as he saw it, that the system was fair for self-funded retirees.
Yeah! And behind Bill Shorten's 2019 election defeat, a likely tidal wave of baby boomer fury over attacks on their favourite tax breaks. Now, the balance of power is tipping for the first time in decades. Gen Z and millennial voters set to outnumber the boomers almost 50% to around 33%. And as grey power politics wanes, both sides of politics are pivoting their policies this election. From education...
A re-elected Labor government will wipe another 20% off your student debt.
Amazing. Thanks, Albo.
To housing affordability...
Mr Albanese, on your watch, the dream of home ownership has disappeared.
To training.
Apprentices, this one's for you. With $10,000 extra cash.
Albanese and Dutton tapping into podcasts in the pursuit of the youth vote.
Can you imagine this bloke ever thinking of getting a policy that was aimed solely at women's reproductive health?
I think a lot of young males feel disenfranchised and feel ostracised.
We're starting to see a gender divide in Gen Z, so younger men are starting to sort of cozy up to the coalition.
But Gen Z and millennials aren't quite as predictable as their boomer predecessors.
Younger people are more likely to shift allegiances. Yes, they have progressive leanings, but that does not necessarily mean, the Labor Party is coming back.
So as the torch passes and the older order crumbles, what does this mean for our nation?
What a campaign ad that is.
Yeah, I'll vote for whoever did that. The demographics too wide, 18 to 44.
It's a big...
it's huge.
The difference between, say, 25 and 35 or 35 and 44, let's go 30 to 44. Yeah. I mean, they're the people who've been hit hardest with the cost of living. They're the ones who are trying to pay off their mortgage. They're trying to put their kids through school.
If they've got a mortgage.
And all of that.
Yeah.
So to automatically think they're going to vote Labor, I think they're angry that the economy's like it is. So to say the boomers are just going to disappear and these people are going to move in, that's not going to happen.
The interesting part of this story, I don't think, is does it mean Labor wins or the coalition wins. The interesting part is about what the policy fight ends up looking like, right? And so I think it's really interesting. The fact that, Labor, for example, are going out hard on something like student debt or education, we would never have seen that. I know it's kind of become a bit of an issue under the cost of living crisis, but it just wouldn't have been a vote winner. It'd just be that's not worth
Is it
chasing.
though? Because there was one poll that came out only a couple of weeks ago that found about 50% of those who vote in Gen Z are only voting to avoid a fine.
Yeah.
And that's because 20% of them think that their vote doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's probably right. And that's the great Australian tradition, is you vote to avoid a fine. But it does influence the way
just
our politics
goes
on.
Just a warning, we're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that.
Also, I've got a podcast if any of the leaders want to come on it as well. We can connect with the youth. Really good stuff. Get at it.